No, I'm excited. This has been a long time coming, and it's all the better for it. Really proud of just the whole story of how we got the first movie together and how over time we developed such an amazing fan base, and we've really taken it up a big notch in terms of, you know, location, story, scope, tone. It's a blast. It's such an epic journey, and it's so cinematic, and I can't wait for audiences to experience that. But by the way, just another thing is they don't make movies like this anymore in terms of something that is a heist movie, that is an action movie, but has so much character and so much richness that you don't normally get in those movies, you know? Much more gimmicky normally. You get to spend very immersed in this world and with Big Nick and Donnie, me and O'Shea, and therefore you get into this movie and you're so in it. Like by the time you get to the end, I remember thinking, I feel like I've taken such an epic journey emotionally and in every way. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. I can't wait for people to see it. I love Big Nick. He's maybe my favorite character that I've played in terms of somebody who's at least a little more regular, not like a Leonidas. I had so much fun with him. I could breathe such life into him in a script that was, and in a movie that was very elevated with a really interesting heist and fantastic characters. It was so kind of heart-pounding and such a specific, gritty world that we created. I loved that character and how the first movie turned out. So for me to get a chance to take it somewhere else, to kind of expand the world of the franchise and Big Nick, see him head-to-head with Donnie, that we kind of only really saw a little bit of in the movie, but take it to places that you don't expect it to go, it's really a ride. So for me, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Where could we take it? Could we keep the movement, you know, beyond the first movie and keep surprising and entertaining people? He's one of a kind, O'Shea. And I mean that in all the best ways. He's terrifically talented. I saw that in the first movie, but this time having a chance to, you know, do all, just scene after scene, where between the great script that we had, but also our chemistry together, and then the improvisation that we were allowed to do, we just finished every scene. I'm going, that is great. That is great. And more importantly, maybe, is his decency as a human being. Like I always watch how people, like he's crazy. And normally when you're crazy, it's hard not to piss some people off, but he manages to be crazy and be so respectful to everybody that people have such a good time with him. And that was just a big part of what I loved. The first Den and this Den, they're really like weirdly, even though they can be very violent movies and exciting, but they're kind of like a family atmosphere on set. People really come together in these movies, and whenever you finish the movie, you're left very, very sad about the end of the experience, you know? Yeah, so we shot them in the EV Porsche Taycan, and it was amazing because it just so happened that they had some that they'd made for another movie that hadn't worked out. So they had 5 or 6 prototypes that were actually, they were going to scrap, they weren't going to use them, and that's exactly what we needed, and they were amazing. So I think we have the first, sounds weird, but electric car chase in a movie, but it is so exciting, that scene. And just like I remember when we were doing it, the involvement with it, let's make this as violent as like you feel every bullet, you feel every move, every reload. It is incredibly visceral, and you know, we were making it hoping, is this actually going to be interpreted in the way that we hope? And it is so exciting in the movie, but also, by the way, it's so exciting because you're living with these characters more than I say you normally do in these kind of movies, like harking back to the, you know, movies of the 80s, and so I think that it's one of my favorite action scenes that I did, and by that point the audience they're so in it. So yeah, excited. We really got a chance to kind of turn up the volume in this. We had a much bigger scope. We went to these incredible locations where we were so cinematic. So we managed to give it a completely different tone. We had incredible action, and the whole movie just looks, when you see it, I've seen it on a big screen, I've seen it on a small screen, and watching it on the big screen, especially with an audience, is incredibly engaging and involved and captivating. It's a ride, but I think best to see it on the big screen. Even the sound as well. Christian, our director, pays such attention to the sound of the movie. And then this man and how he shot it, our cinematographer, who turned up just at the right time, did an amazing job and making this movie look so much better than it deserved to look. No, I'm joking.
You look more handsome in real life.
Yeah.